overhead. See that? So when I came out of there, that's a typical tactic they like to use when I come or go from an establishment. And you can see that you probably can't tell the difference between a fake plane and a real plane. And there's an interview where this guy says that he meets with this alien and or it's a demon. And what he says is that he can turn himself into anything. And that's also what Chris LaSala witnessed with this this one demon-possessed guy. The demon was actually talking out of the guy and said that the airplanes that they were seeing were actually demons. And but you know, it's hard to believe that because you're looking at it and it looks like an airplane. So it's hard to say. But I think that that probably could be true, because think about it, in 10,000 years, what could we come up with, you know, if you compare 1,000 years ago to now in terms of computers and visual technology? Who knows what even, you know, a long period of time could produce something where you could change yourself or anything into anything.
This alien that shapeshifted, I mean this demon that shapeshifted in front of me, who was a human, I thought. And as he was shapeshifting, it looked like...
Were you in a room?
3 or 5, it was a bunch of chambers that were steel this thick, that had hydraulic doors that they dropped the food in, and then the other one would drop it in, and it had to go through that many chambers, because if he got out, that was the end of it all. And I said, does he have a soul? Yeah. I says, you're in trouble when you open them chambers, because a little bit of them's getting out every time, because he's a demon. And I promise you that he could get out of there. Some demons were so evil they had to be chained up in front of the angels of the Lord or somebody to be watched. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when did they shapeshift and what did it look like?
He shapeshifted after he chewed the general to bring me down there. And then I asked the question, what am I down here for? And nobody ever did answer me. And then he finally was chewing that guy out, and he goes, well, and then the guy that was going to shapeshift said, well, let's see how he handles this. And I knew they were talking about me. They didn't say my name. And so I looked at him in the eyes, and I went, that's when I went, what? And then he started doing it. And I seen these digital things. And I wasn't afraid, because I seen those women, and I knew they were holograms, and I said, he's just a hologram. And so he came in there, and he was just, anyway, it was digital looking, but he turned reptilian, just like the ones that you see in V. And his clothes dissipated. They didn't tear off like in Hulk. He didn't take them off. They just dissipated and blended in. And he looked like something on V, that movie V. And I remember trying to look at his feet, because the glass was at a certain angle that the glare was so bad I couldn't see under it. And I was going like this, and so he went like this. He knew what I was trying to do, and so he went like this. And he had claws on his feet and clawed hands. And he says, I could be anything I want to be. I said, you mean anything living? He goes, no. I could be a tree, a door, I could do anything.
But when it comes right here, bam. See? It's like a little metal pod of some kind. And again, you cannot see these with the naked eye because they're using the gravity technology and visibility, which makes it so that you can't see it. But when you video it, then it shows up in the video. Alright, now this is some startling shape-shifting footage here with this dancer chick. And here you'll see what looks like some sort of bone coming out. And it didn't seem to me as though that was an in-between frame. Could possibly be, but there's more going on here, as you'll see in a minute. Also, here's some of this strange dripping. Also, look at these muscles on her arm. It's almost like another form is coming through, and you don't notice this. And look at this bump on her back. It's really quite interesting. It'll shrink down. You'll see kind of like a grid pattern you see there for a second, then it's gone. See? There it is, and then it's gone. And also her face, you'll notice, has a really weird shape too. But look at that bump. You'll see these anomalies on the face. You see that? Sort of things sticking out. It's kind of weird. Now look at this shape that you'll see on the leg. See that? It's like her flesh almost curls around. Take a look at this. It's like rivulating. It's warping. See, that's not a human muscle shape at all. I mean, there's nothing a human can do to make themselves look like that. And then here the back splits open. This is really wild. You can see that along the edges there, it's like the flesh comes open for just a second. It's really weird. And you can also see, it's hard to see it in the shot, but there's these little vertebrae things in there. And here you get these lumps sticking out. Look at these bumps. And here's the shoulders. And you see, even though, remember, she's wearing a leotard, you see this split. And at first I thought maybe it might have something to do with the cabling, because I know that she had a little tie-on plastic add-on that the explosive was put into so that her stomach can blow up when Deckard shoots her through the back or through the stomach. And but if you look at this, there's no reason why all of this is the back. And furthermore, you can see these little vertebra shapes. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 that I can see. And then there's this other dark shape here. I can't make out really what it is, but you can definitely see that there is a edge here, and you see like a lightning. I don't know how easy it's going to be to see in the final shot of this, but you can see that it's almost like the flesh is moving aside in that same sort of dripping, opening up fashion, as though it's like rubber that gets melted or peeled aside. Here's zoomed in, and once again, the focus is not going to be that great because it's a motion shot. But you can see enough to see. You see this. I don't know if you can see this discoloration here, this red, and then I don't know if you can make it out, and it is kind of hard to make out. But there's these shapes here that have a repetitive fashion. And remember, this is the back where the leotard's supposed to be, a solid one-piece leotard. So I don't know what else would be back here. Doesn't make sense that that's the crotch showing a motion blur of a darkened area, because you can see this area here is basically in focus. It's not really, this isn't a spread, and not only that, you see a definite line right here of whatever this is. I think this right here is some aspect of the shape-shifting. Okay, now this is so weird that I almost didn't include it, but after looking at it as many times as I have, I want to show you that there appears to be a ghosting image of a face coming out, and I could see it after a while of looking at it. And even if you brighten it up, it's hard to tell. You really would have to shoot it and look at it yourself, and probably impossible to see on YouTube. here it is enlarged, and what looks like a face of some kind actually coming out in a ghosting image, and I can't see exactly what it is, but it is weird, and I have no idea what it is. Probably someone would say it's a demon coming out, but the head appears to be facing down, and you can see what appears to be eyes, but I mean, I have no idea what that is. I mean, it could be some feature of the reptilian, but I do know that there's something there. It's not just nothing. There's definitely something there. What that is exactly, I have no idea. The true being is, you know, is a giant reptile, and this is interesting. You can barely see it, so you have to brighten it up. But there's like a bulb there where her wrist is, and you see the claws. It's almost like the true size of the being is showing through, and it like starts to bulge out in that bulb. It's really quite interesting.
How can it not know what it is?
We're stupid and we'll die.